Okay, for today I just want to do a quick little, I guess I'm going to call this a rant, about the Ambush Knives Alpha and 3V. I got this on a trade, and it basically got it so that I could use it as a base tester against the knives that I'm making. But after I got it, I realized that in order for me to even want to keep this thing, I would have had to change quite a few things, and I decided to trade away. So first thing I just want to go over is the handle. The handle is just so square. It's fairly uncomfortable. This is a Gen 1, and it has these things that they call scallops, but they're really not. And in the second generation, I know they get rid of them, which I don't even know why they put them in the first place, because you can't even really see them. Pretty pointless. But then the second thing is the butt of the handle. You put it in your hand, and I don't have big hands, but even if your hand goes down to here, you have all this, like a ½ inch of metal that does absolutely nothing. I don't know, it makes it really uncomfortable in other positions. I really have no idea why they designed it that way. Another thing that kind of griped me was the finish on the screws. They looked like they were machined in India. And the last little gripe that I'm going to say about this knife is the tip. I realize this isn't the best filming, but here's like the first knife I ever ground. The first knife I ever made. And they're both 3V, but oh crap, I don't know if you'll be able. Okay, sorry about the camera, but this I'll be able to focus better. Alright, you can see how thick. This is the Ambush right here, Ambush Alpha. Sorry. And again, this is the first knife I ever ground. Now look at the tips. First knife I ever ground. And I think that's a thick tip. Especially with 3V. You don't have to worry about this tip breaking, not only because it's so fucking thick, but you're not going to be able to even stick this in wood or anything far enough to get enough pressure to break it. This is the second knife I ground. It's even thinner than the first one. Shit. Now look at this compared to this one. You kidding me? I've done everything with this knife. This is a beater. This is way too frickin' thick. Now I want to show you one last thing. Okay. Look at the handle lengths. Same handle length. You actually have the same amount of handle that you can hold on to. But now look at the overall length of the knife. The Ambush is actually longer. But all it is like this bizarre butt area. I don't even know, what you do with this. And my last gripe is a lanyard hole. Like once in a while I like using lanyard holes like this, because if you're doing like a little chopping or something, you can put your, pinky in it and you kind of got some. But you can take it off. With this one, that's smaller than a 1/4 inch. You need basically gutted paracord to fit in there. And then you have to tie it through. You can't loop it through like this, where it's easy and convenient to take off. So, all in all, I think this is a great blade steel. And I think the sheath is awesome. But as far as knife goes, it's really lacking in to me, a lot of logical design. I would probably grind this off, and I would have to end up grinding this to an actual point. It's like insanely thick. Sorry, I'd have to grind this to a point. It's insanely thick. Alright, that's it. It's just a little rant about the Ambush. Quality's not that bad, but I think the design is just really lacking.